Character design is provided by Demon Artie. Be sure to check her out over on her social media platforms. Links to her Twitter and Instagram are going to be in the description down below. Welcome everyone back to the Crimson 15 podcast. I'm your host, Crimson Sen.
15 PCA.
454.
Be sure to check us out over on Twitter at C15 Podcast. Join the discussion over on Discord, link in the description below. And if you're enjoying the videos, be sure to sub, like, share, and hit that bell for notifications. Masters of the Universe Revelations, was it the Day of the Dead?
Land
of the Dead. Is what, the fourth episode?
Fourth episode. So
Out of 5.
One more.
This episode's awful.
It's the worst episode by far. It's
It's so, I don't know, like, yeah, you go, girl.
If you ever had someone to say SJW by the numbers, it's this episode.
Okay, know what this is? This episode's the interview question of would you say is your biggest weakness? You know, you have to like come up with the bullcrap answer. I work too hard,
right?
You have to give that kind of answer. This because it's all about your fears. So you give the most BS-y answer of being fearful that you're too awesome.
I'm too good.
I'm too.
That's not a fear. That's just stupid.
And what a horrible lesson for
humble brag.
Horrible lesson for young people to learn too. To be
Hubris,
like,
goodness.
Like if you're just too good, that's like a bad thing.
It's like how I can't go to any musicals because I feel bad for the people on stage because I have perfect pitch.
Right.
That's the level of full of yourselfness.
I'm such a good actor. I can't go to these local plays because I'll just.
I can't enjoy it because I'm so much better.
So much
I can fully immerse
this isn't Tila's opinion. This is fact. Because like the bad guy lets her know this.
Yeah.
And she's so, oh gosh, she's just awful. At least she wasn't bipolar like she was in the last episode.
No, she's consistently bad.
She's just consistently bad from beginning to end. But we open up and her stick is also a glow stick.
Her stick is everything.
This thing can do everything.
I mean, what is this?
It is an everything stick. So it's like a glow stick and they're walking through the land of the dead and it's like this little like area and it's kind of a spooky cave. Orko's like, oh, there's a little nursery rhyme about murder and death and everything's all he's saying it. Orko, shut the hell up.
Oh, you're making it worse. Orko, gonna get us all scared.
Yeah, I know.
You guys want to hear how it goes? No, Orko, we don't want to hear how it goes.
I mean, that's how Orko would do that, but it's just like, no, Orko, be quiet right now. That's the time and place for this.
Because I think everyone's not saying anything, but everyone's just looking at him like, no, these rhymes are not helping.
So, Tila's walking, sees some green fire. Okay, guys, we just stick together. He turns around, everyone's gone, boo! So, we never get to know if this was an illusion or not.
I'm assuming it is, but they don't really say.
They don't really say. So, everyone got separated. I'm like, oh, that's an interesting, to get everyone away from each other. Evil Lynn and Orko get separated, and they're in Orko's homeland. Mm-hmm. And then he's like, oh my goodness, you're so beautiful. And she's like, obviously, this is an illusion. Then they see, like, some birds and stuff, and she's like, yeah, a really good illusion. But then they kind of start walking away, and Orko does a funny thing. Well, we have to find where our friends are. So he tries to, like, do a magnifying a lens of, like, the shows where things are, and then, like, toast these birds.
Yeah, it's like how you get, like, lenses, like, to toast ants and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then he's like, oh, my.
Oh, my.
It's so stupid. She's like, oh, you're such a fool. So I'm guessing his fear is going to be, like, we're thinking, oh, maybe everyone in this world is dead or something like that. But what's that to do with Evil Lynn? So they only picked one. See, they should. Everyone should have their own world.
It should have been all separate instead of having it all grouped.
So then we see like a battlefield. All these like kind of scary looking battlefield place, and that's where, what's her name? Is her name Andy? Andor?
I don't remember.
Andor, the girl.
Beastman.
Tila's not girlfriend. Beastman and Mr. Roboto. And
I like Mr. Roboto.
They're literally like finding like zombie looking guys. Like they look like zombies.
Use your telemetry to see where we're at. Thank you for telling me to do that, because why wouldn't he already be doing that? He had to be told to do it.
Especially in machine, he would do that.
We are nowhere. So, like, I guess because it's an illusion?
See, I would have liked the robot to not be part of anything, because, like, he literally...
He has no fear.
Yeah, how are you going to pull him in? Like, that'd have been kind of cool, or saw all of them just stand there. Like, you guys are all standing
Here's something really funny. Remember this. You see, they see some people up on the ridge, and they look like giant beast monsters, and he's like, oh, we're in for a fight. So I'm like, okay, that's their fear of fighting. I'm like, okay. Get back to Tila. She's all running around. Then we start hearing a voice, and she's like, Skeletor? Oh, not Skeletor. But, he's like another skeleton man. Mm-hmm. He looks like a generic skeleton bad guy from, like, Dragon Quest.
Yeah, he does.
Or like someone tried to redesign Skeletor, and they just kind of...
Or it's the first design of Skeletor, like the pre-alpha.
I don't know if this guy is in Masters of the Universe canon, like he's a character.
Maybe he is. I don't ever remember him.
But you remember in Diablo, the first king boss you fight, the Skeleton King? Looks like that guy.
Yeah, he does.
So he's like, oh, what are you doing here? So only Tila's worthy of talking to this guy.
Of course.
And she's like, oh, I'm here looking for a sword. Ah, a collector like myself. Many have come down here. He gets this big old spiel, blah, 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 blah. Shows off this shadow sword thing. And she like reaches for it like he's going to just give it to you. What are you, an idiot?
Here you go. Goodbye.
Oh, thanks. Well, next time you're going to come by, you should let me know. I could have made some cookies. It's so stupid that you think he would just give it to you.
Yeah.
He's like, how about an exchange? Give me your fear, and I'll give you this. And she's like, oh, no, you don't know me very well because I have no fear.
Of course not.
Of course you don't.
Yeah, of course not.
No one fears anything. You're not even human. But then she's like, okay, how about this? You let all my friends go, and you give me the sword. I'll give you my fear. Because I guess he feeds off it or something. I don't know if it makes him more powerful or if it's just like meals for him. Because he's like, I've been down here for so long, no one's giving me any fears.
Yeah, like I said, yeah. I thought it was because he fed. I actually.
Yeah. So that's like how he lives, but he's not dead.
Yeah.
So she's like, okay. He's like, oh, fine. Then like thing lights up and it's like a big void. He's like, oh, I'm sitting into this pit, and in this pit's like where your fears will come to life.
He's literally It the Clown.
Yeah, kind of, right?
Yeah.
You think about it.
So she gets thrown in this like pit, but all these people, everyone else on the team got sent somewhere, but she literally had to go into this pit of fear.
Because he couldn't draw it out of her, didn't you realize that?
Yeah.
He had to take her to the very heart of his power to draw it out of her.
So Orko's walking around and retcons his whole entire character.
Oh, gosh, this is terrible.
Completely retcons everything we ever knew about him.
I'm a diehard Orko fan, and he's my favorite character, and they totally just screwed him up.
So he's like, oh, this is the fountain of something, and this is where all the magic comes from my land. But it's all dry. And if that means that I'm the last one, so that's his fear, to be the last of his people.
But then Evelyn starts to believe, but go, this is illusion. You
Right,
already said that.
This is all fake. It's
Yeah,
not real.
why-
Maybe we're being shown like a vision or something. Like, but why would this evil place? Orko, you can't be this dumb. Evelyn, it's even less believable that you're this.
Yeah,
dumb.
because first you said it was an illusion. Now you're saying it's not an illusion.
That it's real.
But he's like, hey, Evelyn, you want to know what my real name is? And she's like, doesn't even say anything. He's like, well, my parents wanted me to like be this great wizard, and so they gave me a name that would be for like greatness. And yeah, I couldn't say it when I was a kid. And then of course she's like, oh, your name was supposed to be Oracle instead of Orko.
Which is all seen.
It's like, oh yeah, gotta live up to that. No pressure. So hate your parents.
Of course.
Hate your parents is a thing. Again, I brought this up in other shows. Just hate your parents.
Hate your parents.
Because I hate to say subliminally, they want to destroy the family. They do. That's what they're trying to do with these shows.
And now, what was Orca's original backstory?
Yeah, well, when they're in his world, isn't he supposed to be strong?
He's a badass. Like in the original He-Man, there's an episode where he's in his world and all his magic works perfectly. Like he's a cool wizard.
No, he was always a failure.
Oh,
I was a failure. My parents hated me. Then then they didn't want me to be called Oracle anymore because it was almost like a punny name.
Yeah. So
it's like calling a fat guy slim.
Right.
Or calling me handsome. You know.
Yeah, but the point being, it's just ridiculous. Like Orko's just he was never. They just retconned his whole story. It's awful. Awful.
My parents suck. And I was so awful and horrible, I don't even care if I died or not.
And what is Evelyn's next very line? That's your parents talking.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Because everything I do is like laying magic. Well, that's your parents. And, if you have to take what they won't give you. And you have to... Oh, God. Her Evelyn's speech, it's evil.
It's bad.
It's an evil speech.
But she is a bad guy, but still, Orko should know better.
But then, she does have one good line, which I do agree with, that she says, when other people see that you're weak, but you're able to do things, and that's your strength. And what they don't understand is that one drop of your strength can fill like a universe, because it's your inner strength. Okay, I like that.
That's a good line.
I like that line, but no one thought that of Orko. No one in the whole all of Eternia didn't think that. Well, maybe his really crappy parents, but did Prince Adam think that? Yeah, you kind of goofed up, but you were still a friend. They still brought you along on the adventures.
Right.
That's incredible. It's just to say that he's a loser is just pathetic. He was never a loser.
But then,
especially at his home planet, especially like where he lived.
So again, it makes sense for him to mess his magic up here because this is not his homeland; it's an illusion.
And it's so
but not
far
his
away.
Backstory being that.
Right. And he's so far away from his planet that would make sense why he's weak.
Then Evelyn goes, "It's magic," and then she made like a bird that can poop sparkles.
And literally wasting her magic. You don't have that many magic, Evelyn. What are you doing?
Just for a parlor trick.
Yeah.
And then she kind of gives him that, and then she thinks she said like something nice, and Orko's like, "Oh, that's pretty funny," and then they kind of laugh a little bit, so they became friends in this little moment.
I guess.
I guess. Then, like, we see more of those, like, his people, but they're, like, shadow creatures.
Yeah.
They all go towards the center and become, like, this giant ape monster that looks pretty awful. You have to see it in motion.
Right.
It just looks weird.
It looks off.
The CGI,
But
sorry,
is
this
this
show's a miss.
is
I don't
it
know.
CGI? It
I
looks
know,
weird.
Kind of, I don't know. When it comes to big effects in this show, they're
hit
and miss big time.
I like the fact that Evelyn's like, oh, I'm gonna pump your monkey right here, and it doesn't work. And so then it attacks. And
Maybe
like
should have wasted on that bird trick.
Yeah, I know, exactly.
You have to see it in motion. It just looks weird. It starts attacking, and they just run away.
Maybe it's skipping frames or something. Maybe
It just looks weird.
It looks weird.
Then get back to Tila, and of course she's gotta be bitchy.
Oh yeah.
Okay, where's my fear? We fell down a dark hole and hit the ground. That's not very fearful for me.
I know. This episode pushes your Tila.
Garbage.
She's just an idiot. Then you hear He-Man, and he's like, "Oh, I've been waiting for this for a long time." I'm thinking, "Oh my God, what's her fear?"
What's
man? No.
She's like, "Oh God, a man, no!" So they pull out swords and they go and fight. I'm like, well, one hit from He-Man, she'd just turn into dust.
Yeah, it wouldn't even be a contest.
Yeah, remember in the first episode, He-Man caught that giant catapult thing? Tila, you try that. So
Tomato paste.
yeah, there'd be nothing. She'd be Tila Street Pizza. She'd be nothing. So how's she fighting He-Man, or even think that she could?
No.
But whatever. We get back to the trio of dumbasses, and they're fighting zombies. I thought they saw giant monsters on the hill.
No, but they look. That's
zombies.
That's it. They were zombies. It's crazy.
I could never beat House of the Dead. It's my fear.
No, because literally, if you look at it at first, they look like Beastman, but evil. Like more evil. Then they turn into these zombie skeleton
Basic
guys.
zombies. But whose fear is this? It's her fear?
It's her fear.
Why didn't she like do a whole thing like where just a little flashback of her older brother telling her scary stories and the zombies would come and get you, and that childhood fear manifested itself?
No.
We get no explanation of why she's fearful of zombies.
No.
Zombies and fire bats.
Yeah. So is it like Beastman's fears and hers mixed? Because Beastman doesn't like bats?
Yeah, just like fire bats.
And it's so funny because Nana, before you said it, oh, those are fire bats, and literally that's the name of them.
Yeah, they didn't have like a
imagination there.
You didn't come up with an actual name.
Yeah.
That little kid name it. So Robot Man is he disrobes, so he looks like his toy, which is cool.
Yeah.
But then as he's killing people, he's like apologizing. Excuse me, I'm sorry.
That joke never works.
It's not funny.
No, it's Rupert from Lower Decks, and he was doing that with the Borg. Oh, excuse me, sorry, yeah, that's not. Oh God.
And he was like, he's a cyborg too.
Yeah, I know.
Is that a cyborg thing?
It must be.
Be polite.
I guess.
But then they're like shooting things at, and again, this girl's like grenades and like laser blasts out of her gauntlets.
She's never seen grenades before.
So she blows up some of these zombies, and then, oh man, Beastman, can you tell us about some of these bad guys? So they stop attacking? And Beastman's like, oh, fire bats are no friends of mine. So, like, they stop attacking the other two? It's stupid.
The pausing and talking in the show is so weird in the middle of battle. It just doesn't make sense.
So then the girl's like, well, how come it's not any of your fear? Robot, you dumbass!
He even tells her,
I'm gonna go to my microwave. What is your greatest fear? Metal inside of me. Mm-hmm. So, why would you think a robot would have fear?
I don't know.
Due to my inorganic nature, I have no fear. Well, that must be nice.
Well, that's not his fault. He just created it. Like he did it that way. He's not saying it because, I'm being boastful. No, he's saying it because it's a fact. There's a difference.
Then she's saying, well, it'd be great not to have fear. Then he's like, oh, that's so enlightening. And then
she figures out.
Then she's like, enlightening? That's the key. Okay, what the hell does that mean? Get back to Orko and Evil Lynn. Her magic's not working, so they're still just running around. She's about to get smashed. Orko saves her, and they're like hiding behind stuff. And he's like, hey, why aren't you doing some magic or anything? She's like, well, I need my staff to focus and all that, but, I don't have any magic. And he's like, well, I can't help because unless it's banana peels, I can't do anything.
Unless it's going to slip. Yeah.
I'm such a failure.
Yeah, I'm such a failure. Orko. You're not a failure, Orko. That's your parents talking.
She says it again.
It's ridiculous.
Gosh.
So then we get back to the He-Man fight, which makes no sense. She's like getting smacked around a little bit, but she's able to kind of like hold herself a little bit.
It shouldn't even be a contest.
Yeah, then, she like does all this crazy stuff with her stick. Like she makes a sword into a stick and then a grapple hook and kind of grabs him into a whip. It looks okay, like the actual spinning and flipping and all that. It looks decent. But it's just such a lopsided fight. It doesn't make any sense. But He-Man's like talking major crap to her, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I didn't trust you." And she's like, "Yeah, you did. Oh yeah, I didn't trust you with my real life, and then just my fake life." And he's like talking all those fears about not being trusted, not being cared about enough, and all those kind of things. Everyone has those kind of
Yeah,
fears.
see, that makes sense.
Then she starts crying because it does hurt. They didn't hear it from He-Man.
Yeah.
Of all people, to hear the thing like, "Oh yeah, all the stuff I told you. Yeah, I didn't care." Then she starts to cry, and I do like this part because she tries to battle hook her, hook him with the stupid thing, but he pulls it forward and punches her in the gut. She should have just turned into red mist.
It would have been
A punch from He-Man, nothing left of you.
Well, luckily it's an illusion, because if it was a real He-Man, she'd been gone.
But she doubles over in pain because it would hurt a whole lot. Yeah. But being hit by He-Man, it'd be literally like being hit with a train.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah.
Not many people are living through that.
No.
That's
so
why, yeah.
then she's on the ground all hurt. Then he's like, "Oh, wait a second, I know your real fear."
And then before he even goes the first thing that no one told you that I was.
Yeah, being left behind.
But that was
those
fine.
are normal. That would be normal.
But then here we go.
Being forgotten, being all that kind of stuff. Then he's like, "Oh, I know your real fear. You fear yourself," and then she turns into the old. We made this joke like, "Oh, what if she has to fight her old self?" She does her old self, then has that weird kind of creepy face and runs towards the camera. It's really weird. Then they start fighting and everything, and then your fear is. Then he turns into the big skeleton. I found your true fear. Your fear that you're too special, that you're too powerful.
Oh, I'm just too awesome.
My gosh.
This is the worst.
I'm as awesome as I want to be.
Worst part of the whole series, right here. It's terrible.
Broke it. I think I'm gonna get a -2 for review.
Yeah,
that is the worst.
You're right. I'm not normal. I am special. Then she gets the superpower. He's like, "Here, now you can never take this from me. We had a deal. Give me your fear." No, you gave me a gift greater than fear. Then she starts to go Super Saiyan.
Yeah. You gave me my true power.
Oh my God.
I'm just so awesome. You guys don't realize how awesome I am. That's my biggest fear. What?
And then she goes into this giant monologue about how awesome she is, and then showing everyone else. Apparently, they start beating their fears because she overcame her fear, so it started overcoming their fear. I don't get it.
Or was it the light that was be able to
she started glowing?
Yeah, and then the other two started using light attacks. Is that all you needed to do?
She went right Super Saiyan.
But okay, so here we go.
Yeah.
The Andor literally made the robot guy glow.
With
that was enough to destroy all the monsters. But how did she know that would work?
Because
zombies are weak against light? These aren't vampires.
No. And it's funny because when he said enlightened, see, light's in the word enlightened. That's all she did when he used light. I don't know.
What I'm thinking is she probably noticed that maybe they're shadow monsters, shadow light. You show light, they can't have a shadow. I don't know.
Well, you were saying when she was told those bedtime stories, she could have said, well, maybe in those stories, the way to kill zombies was light. So in her fear, that's how you kill a zombie.
Oh, I always kept the candlelight on, and that made me feel safe.
But that's what do it. But they never said that.
Yeah, we're adding fake story to help try to bridge these
try to cover the line and make it make sense. But no.
So we get to Orko and Evil Lyn, and then Evil Lyn makes a light thing in her staff. But I did find it interesting that she grabbed Orko's hand and oh, I need your magic too.
Yeah,
but why did he say I need your help? But it kind of it's just a visual thing. She doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
So they do that and they beat their fear, and then she goes full blown. She's got the Avatar state.
Yeah, almost again.
Oh, my power is so great and wonderful, and then she summons the sword. The other half of the sword. How could she have that ability?
She won it.
So they're just setting her up for her to be the new He-Man? There is no other thing that they're setting up than her taking the sword from Adam, and Adam can just be Prince Adam, and now it's my secret.
Right.
I don't know.
There's a show like that already called She-Ra. You don't have to do that.
Either it's two
insanity.
Things. One, they're really going to piss everyone off and make her the new He-Man.
Do you think they can make her all buff and gross?
Probably.
People have drawn pictures basically with He-Man, but with Tila's haircut, and they're saying this is what she's going to look like. I swear to God, if they do that, because when Adora became She-Ra, she didn't become this giant, nasty, disgusting version of herself. I don't know.
She got taller, but she didn't get
Or she can
muscular.
become the new sorceress of Grayskull.
Yeah, but no way she's not going to be wielding the sword. No way.
I know. That's what we want as fans.
That wouldn't be that bad of an idea
No.
for the sorceress that I give the rest of her to my daughter. I bestow you of my gifts, or whatever,
Right.
and she becomes the new
Guardian.
because she gets these 3 little marks on her head.
Which
is that going to be like the hawk thing?
Yeah, that's what I was
That
thinking.
wouldn't be so bad, but you really think they're going to do that, though, like you said?
No, I don't think so. I think they're going to go with the first idea.
And then the skeleton guy's like, what are you?
That's so stupid.
Get this stupid ass show. God.
And then right here, the most evil villain look.
Look at this evil face.
It's evil. It's straight up
What
like.
does she say? She says something evil. Oh my God! What the hell? She says
I
something.
forgot.
I forgot it so bad.
I have to look it up. I have to look it up.
Yeah,
So
we'll look it up.
give me a second.
Okay, so but yes, when I saw this scene, I'm like looking at her face. I'm like, that is his face of a person that's
Evil.
gonna murder someone.
Yeah, look at that. That's I just murdered my whole
Again,
family. And I
that
like
evil Lynn makes that face that makes sense.
Right.
Not Tila.
it. Okay, give me a second, guys. Okay, we're back, and it was such a bad line that it was wiped from my memories. But after he begs for his life and saying, "What are you? I'm your worst nightmare." That's a
Hero line,
That's
right?
not that's not a Tila hero line. That's like Spawn, Wolverine,
Punisher.
Punisher.
Yeah. Ghost Rider.
Tila.
No.
No, because she's not supposed to be. But look at that evil face. That's an evil face.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's a creepy face.
So then she has an explosion of light. Because that light and just blows up. Everyone beat their villains, and
The
then
gas goes
they
away.
come back, and the evil fart juice goes away, and then they're like, "Oh, everyone's here, but where's Tila?" But that's Orko. I get that. She just jumps up with the sword, got the sword, and like, I'm badass. Here it is. But that's only one half. Do you know where the other is? Okay, Evil Lynn.
Well, and then also she wasn't give it to Evil Lynn. Lynn has been doing everything you've been asked of her. So why don't you just give her the damn sword?
Yeah, like she's being kind of apprehensive a little bit about it.
Right, like-
Gives it to her, and then Evil Lynn rubs her staff all over it.
Yeah.
I don't know what this is. I thought she was like gonna make it into the staff.
Yeah.
I thought she was gonna like combine it and she would have her
Yeah.
staff back instead
Until
of,
she
like,
gets the other half of the sword. Yeah, something like that. No, she just
she
kind
just
of
kind
like
of rubbed it all over
rubbed
it.
it and went, and then it got glowy.
She like rubbed 2 yardsticks together, and then she makes like a flame. And I guess she makes the door from Lord of the Rings, speak friend and enter and Belloc, and then it opens up. And it's to Paternia, which is like their heaven.
So-
Oh, sweet. That's where the other sword is.
And they all stand around
They
looking
stand
at it.
around for a long time.
How did she know this was even possible?
I don't know. She's just lucky.
Didn't she just ask where the other sword's at, and then she does this?
Or maybe she's like, oh, stupid because I do. Like, I have no idea what
I'm gonna help them. I guess, but that's kind of stupid. I mean,
I don't know. So she opens the door. It's all beautiful in there. And they're like, okay, let's go. But then the evil guy shows up. It doesn't matter what you did. It's how you die. So he does entanglement, grabs all their legs. And he just can't get Orko because he flies. Then they're trying to break their way out and they can't. He's going to kill them all. Orko does like a big shield. Like, because he makes all the rocks fall. Shoots all the rocks back at him. So Orko's being like a badass. Then, like, it's really sad. Because he like does this big shield and he's blocking all the attack. And he's like, hey, Evelyn, look, I'm doing it. And it's like a little kid who like, I don't know, got the first base on his first T-ball game. So he's able to like block everything. And then he's like, don't worry, guys, I got this. I'm like, oh, this is where he's basically going to die.
He's gonna die.
and Tila breaks free from herself, but then she's not breaking the others free. Hurry up!
Here's a question. Didn't the Andy, that girl, have like laser blasts? Couldn't she shoot her legs, shoot the other person's
Same
legs?
thing with the android.
There's like, oh no. They finally do break out, but it's
Takes
too
a
late
while.
because like the evil dude is getting closer and closer because Orko's putting up all these rings, like barriers, and he's kind of slowly but surely making it through there.
And it's kind of sad because Evelyn did try to help, but her magic's all gone. It's completely gone.
She used it all to open the door.
She had nothing left.
So they start to run away, and this is actually a pretty cool spell. As he got super close, those barriers were also like restraints, and then he's like sucking.
Trapped
him. Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
I wish he would have been rhyming spells.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, you said that.
He's
yeah.
not. He's just like doing
That'd be
it.
cool. Like, oh, when the night, please put these rings inside, or something like
Yeah,
that. Give me some kind of whimsical lines.
And maybe even his original form.
Yeah, like get
Like
a little
if-
more powerful
If he
looking.
would have looked like he's like
Oh, yeah.
from his planet, like
Oh, yeah, that'd be
literally
cool.
giving up all his energy. So
That'd
it's
have been
literally
cool.
showing him.
And then he does say something, but it doesn't even rhyme though.
Yeah,
I'm
it
like,
doesn't-
what the heck?
Yeah.
He gets because then Tila tries to run back towards him, but then the rings go and they explode. Here's the thing, I'm pretty sure he's dead, but his death was so innocuous he may not be dead.
He might be back for season 2.
yeah,
Which would be 5 episodes.
But then I
Ridiculous.
remember reading somewhere that they say, oh yeah, he totally dies. So, I don't know. They get blown through the door, and then Tila's like, oh damn, he actually killed himself to save us, because like a little bits of his robe, like,
Yeah.
so, I don't know. In my BS-ness of my love for Boba Fett, if I don't see a body, he ain't dead. So, so Boba Fett wasn't dead, sort of like didn't
And he's
get him.
not dead, so there you go.
See, there you go. I got the, so, they're super sad that he's dead.
Oh my, in this part right here.
Yeah,
with
this
Tila.
part.
And then Evil Lynn's like, I tried to save him. It should have been you.
Well, she says
What?
that, and then another friend, you didn't try hard enough. Well, okay, guys, a little high standards here.
And Beastman says, back off. Are you kidding me?
If I was Tila, I'd be like, you didn't know my friend long enough to talk like that. You didn't know him. You knew him for a day.
Yeah.
I knew him my whole life. So when I'm sad that he's dead, not saying you can't be sad that this guy is sacrificed. You didn't try hard enough. You didn't even know the guy.
But that's different. But she didn't say that.
I know,
though.
it's so stupid. So
She went to the evil. She went to the evil.
yeah,
evil
they're gonna throw down, but then you hear Prince Adam go, "Oh, by the power of Grayskull, Tila, how are you here?" In the end of the episode. So like this is like their heaven, so it makes sense why Prince Adam would be here.
Yeah, true.
But yeah.
You see Urkel there too. Dang, I guess he did die.
Yeah, I guess you need to go to the afterlife. I would imagine it'd be the afterlife of his world.
I know, I'm just being stupid. I didn't find it right there. What the heck?
Because when he's all jacked.
Yeah.
But Tila being afraid of being too awesome.
That's the worst.
And then for the bad guy to unlock that in her, even dumber.
Oh, very dumb. And how she reacted to Evil Lynn at that part we're just talking about. That's not a hero. That's not a hero in any way, shape, or form.
It's kind of a bad guy.
Yeah.
This version of Master Universe is my worst nightmare. So, I don't know.
I'm your worst nightmare. I know.
One more episode and then we're done.
With this little thing.
I mean, whatever it is. What a disaster, because potentially this could have been a good series.
You haven't met Skeletor yet.
No.
Only the
So
first
you get him in the
episode.
very last episode?
I guess.
I don't know.
I'm telling you, he's there with he's right
Hey, Adam, where'd you go? Oh, damn, Tila.
there. I know, he's like, oh, me, Lynn, you're here too. Why?
Ha, let's have a party. He's like a cool dude. I never got to sit down and meet and get to know Adam, but he's a righteous dude. Like, he's become like buddies.
I forgot that. I always call him a competent boo, but he's not.
Yeah, they totally just mellow out.
Yeah.
He mellows out now because
That'd
he's
be
all
funny.
up there.
My pursuit of power. What was I thinking? So I don't know. It's this whole thing is just stupid.
Yeah, it is. I just wanted to end.
That's in here. Thanks for watching the video. Remember, you can contact us on any of the social media platforms in the description down below. And while you're here, be sure to click on one of the videos over on the right.